He was nuts. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good thing. That's good.
Number 24, Kate.
Welcome to the state of PA football. PAFootballNews.com's weekly look at high school football from around the state of Pennsylvania. From Philly to Erie, Scranton to Pittsburgh, Johnstown to St. Mary's, York to Bradford, and all areas in between. Whether you're a Bulldog, a Lion, Crusader, Eagle, or Millionaire, host Billy Splain has got you covered. Thanks to our sponsor, The Funding Zone. He'll be traveling the state bringing a guest host and a friend or two. There's just one question. Are you ready for some football?
And now, your host, Billy Splain.
Don't forget.
Number 60, Connor Davis, Canton.
All right, here we are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, at Danville Ironman Stadium. This is Billy Splain for PAFootballNews.com. I am surrounded by star-studded reporters from this area.
Where?
We're trying to find them. But to my right, I've got Todd Hummel from the Daily Item. Todd, welcome to the show. And behind me, I've got Chris Massey. Chris from the Sun Gazette and Williamsport. Welcome, guys. Here we are, All-Star Game, District 4.
Good
Thank
to be
you,
here.
sir.
Glad it's back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. Thoughts on this game, guys?
I think it's finally nice to actually be back. I think the kids really love this game, and one last chance to kind of get a run with their teammates and their guys they played against. I did a little story this week on the South team, and you got Schick and Selinsgrove and Mount Carmel and Southern and things like that. And it's a fun game for everybody, and it's usually an entertaining game as well.
Yeah. I think that's one of the fun aspects about it. Like Todd said, on the north, Montoursville and Loyalsock are bitter rivals, and south of Loyalsock, and that tension kind of gets melted away. And I think a lot of times those bitter rivals are the ones who become kind of the closest friends on these teams. So it's nice to see rivals become friends, and the games have been really entertaining over the years.
We've been in a hiatus for 2 years with this game. We haven't played in 3 years for this game. When we left off, the South was dominating. You got Selinsgrove and Southern Columbia. They were just – and one year Logan Libby came in and tore up the South Williamsport one year. He had 5 or 6 touchdowns in a game. Looking at this roster, I personally, guys, believe that the North has a chance this year.
Yeah, actually, so do I. When I was looking at it as well, the South only has one quarterback this year. Some of the better South seniors, like Gavin Garcia, Southern Columbia is already in college.
Out of Kent State, yep.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some real talent on that North squad, especially at between Maddox Delina and there's another real good quarterback. When I was looking at the roster, now it slipped my mind.
Got Logan Almeida.
Yeah,
from
Logan
Montgomery.
Almeida
Had
from
over
Montgomery.
2,000 yards, and Frankie Marone had a good career at Williamsport. Yeah, that's what I mean. You got Caden Hess at wide receiver from Jersey Shore. He's a 2-time All-Stater. Colton Hans broke all sorts of records at Montgomery. I tend to think the North's the favorite, but
Yep.
games aren't won on paper, so you never know.
And you got Rocco Paluzzi back there running back. You got to stop him.
There's a lot of weapons.
I mean, they're loaded in the backfield, and we're usually saying that about the South with all the Southern Columbia guys, like you said.
Yep.
And it's going to be an interesting game. I'm excited to see this game. I'm real excited. Caden Hess, I got to see him at the East-West game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be utilized, and they got stomped.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely utilize him tonight.
Yeah.
He's got some great hands. I mean, he's got some speed, but you get the ball anywhere near him, he's got a chance to come down with it. He's fun to watch.
Yeah. Guys, talk about, how'd your season go last year, Todd, with the Daily Item? We had a normal kind of season last year.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. I mean, we had Southern Columbia win a state title, but that's nothing new. I think coming up this year is going to be, we probably are deeper in our South End probably than we have been in a while between, Southern's going to be pretty good, Selinsgrove, Danville, Mifflinburg has a lot back. I think that's another difference, between these teams is a lot of the better players in the South are still underclassmen. Yet, the two offensive linemen from Mount Carmel, guys like that, and the upper part of the district seems to be more senior laden this year.
Yeah, we saw. I ran into Mount Carmel today. I was up at Penn State for the 7-on-7 that they had up there in Mount Carmel. They've got some big boys.
They're going to be tough.
Yeah, they're going to be.
They were
tough.
good last year, and they're going to be even better.
They're going to be better this year. Is this the year that Mount Carmel can beat Southern Columbia? Southern Columbia, they just reload every year. But
Yeah. Todd would know that better than I would. But
I would say it wouldn't surprise me if it happened, but it's always hard to pick against Southern Columbia. But I mean, with
no Garcia in the backfield. this
yeah, I
year.
was going to say, but I mean, Braden Wislowski is one of the best athletes in the state. We'll see the freshman linebacker from last year, the Rodimer kid. We'll see how healthy he is. He blew out his knee in the state final. But Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel's going to have to find a replacement for Julian Stellar in the backfield, and their quarterback who's playing in this game, and Pedro Feliciano, the quarterback who's playing in this game for the South. But it's going to be pretty hard for somebody to get past Matt Kelly and Matt Chicatano on both sides of the line. Yeah,
They're big. And then on your end, in the northern end, I guess you call it the northern end for the Sun Gazette.
Yeah.
Montgomery's got some weapons coming back. Not many, but it usually runs over. And Williamsport with a new coach, and of course you always have Jersey Shore to lean on. They're going to be good again.
Yeah, them and Canton were. Last year was the first time our area ever had two state semifinalists with Shore and Canton, and both of them have really good cores coming back. Shore lost some great players: Carter Peacock, Caden Hess, Connor Davis. They're all playing in this game, but they're really loaded. Their entire line's back.
Yep.
And they've still got some good skill players. And ditto for Canton. They got all three running backs back, 4 All-Staters coming back. So I think those are the two teams to watch.
Yeah, Canton's going to be tough. Montoursville's always tough. They always have athletes out there, so it's going to be an interesting game. And guys, can you believe here we are? We're nearing the end of June, and we're talking about the 2022 season, guys.
Yeah. 2 months to go.
I know, it's
we
exciting.
both have magazines that have to be done by
Yeah,
the end of July. We have to start talking
I'm
about
already diving into it.
Yeah, and on PA Football
fun,
News, we already started our previews, our player profile features, and we're running 4 and 5 a day of those, and we run through, and then we're doing for the first time this year on PA Football News, we're going to do by conference instead of by team, just because there's 550 teams, and it's so hard to do.
That's a lot of work.
And I have a great staff out there that helps a lot, but it just eats so much space on to have article after article, it just doesn't pay.
That
So
adds
we're going to
up.
break it up. We're going to break it up and do by conference, and it's going to be exciting. But excited for this game. It's going to be fun. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from one of our commercial sponsors, and we'll be back with the national anthem, guys. Chris Massey, enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'd like to have you come back at halftime. We'll talk about the game.
Sounds good.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot, man.
Yep, no problem.
All right, we'll be right back.
Watch the 2022 St. Luke's All-Star Awards, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. Join St. Luke's University Health Network in celebrating the region's best plays of the year, winningest teams, and most extraordinary high school and club sport athletes. For more information, visit sluhn.org/allstars and tune in June 9th at 6:30 p.m. on 69 WFMZ TV and streaming live on WFMZ.com and the WFMZ Plus app.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
When you step out on that field, everyone is equal. Talent, it means nothing. They may be more talented than you, but if you show more heart, if you show more focus, if you just decide this day that you will never accept second place to anyone, if you do that, if you all do that, there's no one we cannot defeat, and there's no one that will want to challenge us ever again. So do you want to go out there like every other player, like every other team, or do you want to stand up this day to make this day count?
Hey, do we need the other microphone up for sound outside? Or can you hear ambient sound? All right, here we are back live at Danville's Ironman. It's Ironman Stadium, right, Todd?
Yes, the Ironman Stadium.
Ironman Stadium. And the voice you hear in the background is the venerable, the legendary WHLM Berwick, Southern Columbia radio personality, Jim Doyle. Jim is one of the best. I love when I can't be around listening to Jim Doyle do a game.
I have trying to think of anyone that has never said that. Man, Jim's been doing it a long time, and even somebody like Jack Burns, who's been doing it a long time over our way, was mentored by him, and Jim's been a great friend to almost everybody over these years. That covers football and basketball around the area.
I don't know anybody that knows sports in this area better than Jim Doyle.
Actually, if you Google or get on Amazon, he actually wrote a pretty entertaining book a couple years ago.
I have it.
Yeah, so we have it at the office. I read it at the office, but I think there's a couple of fun stories in there about Southern Columbia coach Jim Roth and some other guys around here that a lot of people would know.
All right, well, we're going to tune in and we're going to listen to the national anthem here, sung by a young lady here from Danville. Just stay on her.
Can you see by the days of light what so proudly we had the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
It's not too loud. I pulled it back. That's pretty loud.
Rest from gallantly streaming. And the wreckage regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night. Bright our flag was still there. We're safe as that star-spangled banner yet wave. Where the hand of the free
right. That was quite a rendition there by, from what I understand, she's a young girl from Danville, right here in Danville. And now we get ready for the big kickoff with the North-South. Interesting to have this game back. We've got an interesting situation that I've never seen with an all-star game before. Each team is named after a sponsor.
Yeah.
We've got Team Geisinger and Team UPMC. Team UPMC is they're the North team, and Geisinger is the South. We'll stick with North and South. It'll be easier for me.
And the other, the nice thing about this used to be sponsored by the South Williamsport Lions Club, and it was up at South Williamsport, and it was real good that they were able to get some big name sponsors for it, and this is obviously a beautiful facility at Danville, and got a real good crowd here for this tonight. Should be real good to see some football for the first time since you've seen way more All-Star games than I have this summer, but for me, the first time since December.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Always a nice crowd for the District 4 game. Sometimes the heat plays a little bit. One thing I won't miss about South Williamsport are the bugs in your mouth towards the end of the night.
Oh, that press box isn't real big either.
No.
I'm old enough to remember when it didn't have steps. It had one of those, the ladders you climb to your attic.
Yeah.
You just have to pull down and climb the wooden thing up the ladder into the South Williamsport press box.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Always a good host South Williamsport was. I actually talked to Chris, their head coach, the other day, and good coach there. But this facility right here, built by Land Tech, they did a great job here, and they brought Musco in for the lighting, and just a fabulous looking. It's one of my favorite looking stadiums across the state. I get to a lot of stadiums. I like to travel all over the place, and what a beautiful stadium, and it provides an aerial view of this stadium is just awesome. The purple is a great color.
That's the biggest thing, and especially in this area, is just how many turf fields have gone in, and the facilities around here. I was up. The South team spent the week practicing at Milton because Phil Davis is the Milton coach, is the South coach, and they're opening a brand new turf facility that's beautiful.
That's
and,
what I hear. Yeah.
And Warrior Run opens theirs up this season as well. Warrior Run had to play all away games in all their sports for almost the last 2 seasons. So I'm pretty sure they're excited to get that whole project done.
Yeah, and Lewisburg back at Bucknell.
Yeah, that's the one place, and we still have some. Even Southern finally got their turf field too, but yeah, Lewisburg's back at Bucknell. I think that's a place that's really tried for a football stadium. I think I've been doing this for 30 years and lived around here my whole life, and there's been various rumors over the years, and that's just one place that really hasn't gotten their own home. And Bucknell's really helped them out by allowing them to use it, but sometimes, they don't like them on campus with homecoming and such things like that. Yep. And sometimes Lewisburg ends up having to play either an extra away game or, a nominal home game at Selinsgrove or something.
Yeah, and they've got that great big field next to the new stadium or new school there that they could utilize. I do hope someday soon Lewisburg does get a nice donor and they get to have the stadium of their own. But here we are ready for kickoff, and it looks like the South will receive the kickoff.
Looks like, oh, man. Man, is that 4? Looks like Nate Almett and back deep. Man, looking right into the sun. This is not the best. Ooh. Tackled at the 15, and that's where the South offense is going to take over, it looks like.
And so here we go with the South on the ball, and at quarterback, Pedro Feliciano.
Yeah, he's going to get his name called a lot tonight. He's the only quarterback listed on the South roster. It's going to be he's going to throw more passes in this All-Star game than he might have thrown all season for the Red Tornadoes, who ran for nearly 6,000 yards last season. Looks like going to be Julian Stellar in the backfield as well for them.
Thomas Davitt.
So an all Mount Carmel backfield right now. Going to be. I believe that was Nate Almond on the carry, number 4 for the South team.
Yeah, not much doing there. it's always rough the first couple of plays.
Well, to get used to the rosters, and we are staring right into the into the setting sun.
For my fourth All-Star game of the year, I'm looking directly into a summer sun, and it's brutal. But today I came prepared. I've got a pair of binoculars, and we can keep track of that. Not much doing there.
No, not again. It's gonna be tough for number 22 for the South has for the North has been in on both plays. That's Sebastian Robinson of Williamsport.
Yeah, good player, good football player. I got to see Williamsport play last year. He's really he chases after the ball. They got a couple of guys from Williamsport here that were really good. Frankie Marone was a good athlete for them too. Sorry to see Green was a scratch. He was a great athlete for Williamsport.
I believe the Marone kid's going to Albany to play quarterback.
He is. He's definitely going to Albany. It's a good place for him to land too.
Those of you who might know, that's where Jared Verse went and then ended up transferring to Florida State for the season from Central Columbia.
There's a pass out to – it's going to be short of the first down. That pass was out to Tom Stavitt, and they're going to be short. So we're going to see our first punt of the game.
I was out at –
although it's an all-star game, so, hey, why not go for it, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to lose.
Except for pride.
I was out at the South practice on Thursday, and Ethan Schleif of Midwest kind of earned the punting thing. Julian Stellar, I think, was punting for most of the practice they were talking about.
Wow.
Ethan was pretty good out at Midwest. We'll see how. I don't think he can rush the passer in this game, so it should be just a big long boot, I would assume.
Boy, I'll tell you what. For if I had a suggestion for Danville, I would suggest they put blinds in, so we could lower them down a little bit.
Feliciano late getting in to call snaps or call signals for the punt.
That's right. There's more room over here. Up and there's a little muff. Dropped it. Kind of a rush on the punter, but I don't think you. I don't know. Maybe Ed Weaver can tell us the rules for the punt. No rush on the punt. They take the punt, and that's where they take it. So, all right. So let's see who goes in at quarterback for the North. I was let in on a little secret, and I'd like to see if they do it with the first play. From what I understand, we're going to see a trick play to open up the game from the North.
That would not surprise me.
Well, they've got three quarterbacks, so they could put one in there and then send one out and throw one deep. That's what I was told. We'll see if that happens. And in at quarterback, it looks like it's Delina from Montoursville. There it is.
There's the old flea flicker.
And it didn't work. Hey, how about that for a prediction, huh? Yeah, that was
Quadir Herbert, I think, from Milton on the coverage out there, number 10 for the South.
Nas Smith from Loyalsock was the intended receiver, but, well, there's your trick play. We got that secret from Ed at Circle W Sports. Circle W Sports providing all of our stats for the game today. And for locals, this game is being broadcast on Channel 8 in the Danville smoking area, I believe.
You can get that down in Selinsgrove as well.
Here, we've got the game right here on PA Football News. You can see it all over the place. What a big hit. What a nice run by Max DeLina. What a football player he is. He had a great year last year for Montoursville, and it's a nice run. He a little bit just put his head down and powered through there, Todd.
He's one of those kids that this is going to be his last football game. He's going to be playing baseball up at UConn for the Huskies, who just missed making the College World Series this season. So good luck to him up there. And I also know I've seen Mr. Delina throw plenty of long passes in his career. He's got a big arm.
We got Caden Hess down here to our side. And he goes to the far side, back over to the Nas Smith from Williamsport.
And that was number 9 for the South. Aiden Kritzer from Line Mountain with the play who stopped the North from getting the first down on that little swing pass.
Todd, Line Mountain is a team that's close every year. They just don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But they always have a couple of athletes every year at Line Mountain.
Well, you know, they also get stuck. They're one of those small schools in District 4 that has to contend with Southern a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I've been Brandon Carson's, the son of Mike Carson down there. They always do a great job. And they're one of those schools affected. Like if they have a strong senior class, they're usually real good. And they sometimes they don't have they were real young, and they got better as the year went on. But I think that we'll see them. They might be a year or two away for another one of their real good seasons.
Yeah, as we see a punt just roll to the 11-yard line for the North. South will take over at the 11-yard line, and boy, what a roll that was on that punt.
Yeah, that was take that bounce almost any time. I take that bounce on a drive on the golf course.
Got to thank some of our sponsors who make this possible for us. We're also going to thank the Daily Item for providing Todd Hummel here. I know Todd has to write an article about this game, but maybe talking about it the whole game will help you out.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Funding zone, as we see a short run there. That was Simcoe.
One of the two Shikellamy running backs on the team with Gage Wolf that played in that wing tee for the Braves. They seem to like to throw the ball to the Shikellamy tight end, Caden Hoffman, when I was at practice on Thursday, too. He's a 6'2", 240-pound kid going to Kings to play football, actually.
Yeah, Shikellamy has a nice core returning this year. They should be a pretty good team this year.
It's just one of those deals where you end up in Division I where you could be improved, and your record doesn't show it again.
There's a keeper that goes absolutely nowhere on that play.
Selinsgrove in Division
Looks
I.
like that looked like Robinson again in on that tackle, Todd.
Yeah, they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time when they want to try and run the ball with, run a little, try and run with Pedro. That's his big thing. I think he had 700 yards rushing last year for Mount Carmel. It seems to be tough sledding right now for these first two series for the South offense.
We got trips to the right. We'll see what happens here.
He's looking for
being chased.
Yeah.
Oh, just all kind of.
Not enough time to get the ball down the field like they wanted to.
I think that was a coverage sack, Todd. That was all coverage on that one, and on that tackle was Cade Suttilano from Kawaneski Valley. Big boy. What a season for Kawaneski Valley last year.
Yeah, they made it to qualify for the district playoffs. Actually, I ended up with a home game, I believe.
That's like a Super Bowl for them.
Yeah. Actually, my biggest concern as somebody that lives in Selinsgrove was I was going to have to go up there for a home playoff game for them. So, they seem to have a good core coming back this year as well. We'll get to see them. They play Milton, I think, this season.
All right, as South kicks off and Caden Hess returns the ball down to the 44-yard line. And we're going to take a 30-second timeout here. We'll come back after a quick word from one of our sponsors with the score at 0-0.
There are two things in life that you can't outrun: taxes and death. Everything else you can outrun.
Bring us back.
If you're fast enough.
All right, we're back in this. There's a nice run right there, Todd.
Looks like number 55 and 50 for the South in there for a tackle for a loss.
That's looks like we're in for a defensive game, and it's exciting to just watch football. I love football, Todd. This is what I live for every day of my life. High school football and just promoting the kids and the athletes, and it's just been such a pleasure covering all these guys out here. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that you have personal relationships with. This is your last time getting to see those guys.
Yeah, it is, and you end up even not just football. Most of these kids are three-sport guys, so you see them almost all year.
There's Caden Hess with a short bubble pass, and he gets down to about the 41-yard line.
Speaking of players that that have caused a lot of problems down in the south end of this district.
I know.
Oh, he's one of the best receivers District 4 has seen, and that's something District 4 has really between Julian Fleming and Caden Hess and Carson Persing this season at Danville, they've really produced some top-notch receivers and some state level career records as well.
We brag about on PA Football News. we have one of the best. I personally believe one of the best photographers in the entire country that shoots high school football, and we've got a picture of Caden Hess at the championship game a couple of years ago being bent in half, and it was viewed by over 250,000 times. So it was a great picture. But okay, back to passing. Almost intercepted was Frankie Marone is in there at quarterback, and he almost got picked off. Frankie from Williamsport.
The other line mountain defensive back in the game, Aiden Herb, back in, almost got the interception on the overthrown pass there. See who's looks like Herb and six.
Yeah, we got to thank Dan the man from Auburn, PA, over here on the computer running the show, keeping us hooked up and keeping us running. So we got to thank Danny, PFN Dan. A lot of you guys know him as on Twitter. There's a big high punt, and he dropped the punt. It's muffed.
Still muffed, still down.
And it looks like
recovered at the 1.
The North recovers the ball.
There's a flag back here on the play, though.
That was Carter Peacock on the recovery, but we got a flag back on the 50. Roughing the punter, and that's going to be declined.
Yeah.
So it looks like the North is on the ball. That's the biggest gain of the game so far.
Yeah, well, and sets them up with great field position inside the 5.
On the 3-yard line, the North is on the 3.
Looks like it's
Hey, do you want my binoculars? All right, it's a handoff.
Is that Almeida? Touchdown for the
And it looked like
North.
Rocco Paluzzi on the carry from Montoursville to get the first score of the game. So the North takes the lead on thanks to a muff punt.
Muff punt that set them up inside the 3, and one play later, bang it into the end zone by Rocco Paluzzi.
He would be my short. That would be my short yardage choice.
That'd be well, he's a pretty good long yardage choice too. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong.
No. And there's the snap goes on the ground and is.
Oh, that's going to be a 2-point conversion.
It's going to be a 2-point conversion.
Delina to 25. It looks like for the North. Is that
Delina to. I'm going to let you say that one.
Hasnenkoff of Muncie. Bailey Hasenkoff.
There you go, Bailey. Great tight end.
Pretty good linebacker, I believe, as well.
Yeah, really good linebacker. I had big high hopes for Muncie last year, knowing he came back, but they just ran out of players at the end of the year, and he was one of them. He got injured again. He was injured the year before when they lost to Steel High in the last minute. What a game that was, too.
Yeah, well, you know, it was pretty obvious that either them or Canton were going to win the VA title last year, and the winner of that game ended up in the semifinals, and you know, gave Bishop, the eventual district champion or the state champion, Bishop Guilfoyle, a heck of a game there out at Altoona.
Oh, that was a great game. Yep. Yeah, great game. Great game. So 6-0 or 8-0. The North takes the lead on the muff punt. They're going to kick off here to the south.
I don't think the South's offense has been outside the 20-yard line yet in their first 2 possessions.
Nope, they have not. And this one's going. This is a touchback. So the South will take the ball at the 20-yard line, and when we come back, we'll continue our coverage with Todd Hummel from the Daily Item right after a word from our messages. Or a message from our
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very
for that. And back to it's intercepted at the 13-yard line.
Like Caden Williams of Canton read that play perfectly.
Hey, he was right there. I mean, he was more in the backfield than the running back was.
Yeah, they were trying to throw a little swing pass to Julian Stellar, and defensive end on that side, number 63, Caden Williams from Canton, just stepped right in front of him and went untouched into the end zone for about 13, 16-yard touchdown. And was that 2 scores in
less than 12. Yeah, less than 12 seconds.
And all of a sudden, the North is looking to go up by at least 14-0 at this point.
You know, that's a lineman's dream. We do our player previews, and one of the questions I ask kids is, what is something that you would love to do but probably will never happen? And all the linemen say score a touchdown.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
I've had one guy 2 years ago say he'd like to kick a field goal. But most of them say, I want to score a touchdown. I had one this year say he wants to score the game-winning touchdown, which I don't know if I've ever seen that.
You know, I've seen him make a game-clinching play, a defensive lineman make a game-clinching play in the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure it was a touchdown this year. But it should be. So it's interesting to see. Interesting to see how the South offense responds. They are struggling as 2 punts and obviously the interception for a touchdown, and going to have to find something they can do well to kind of keep their defense off the field a little bit.
And so Sebastian Robinson will kick off. And this goes into the end zone again. And that's going to be a touchback. So we'll come back after this word from our sponsors. In 30 seconds, we're live at Danville's Ironman Stadium. We'll be right back.
The team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. And I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
All right, we're back live here. The South has the ball in the 20. There's an inside handoff. Got a couple of yards, 3 yards there, maybe 4.
By far their best play on first down. Looked like Julian Stellar from Mount Carmel. He is headed to Lycoming to play football for the Warriors this next season. Running back, linebacker is going to be interesting to see what the Warriors do with him when he gets up there, probably fairly soon. I always forget we're in late June already.
Yep. Yeah, June 24th, and there's another inside handoff, and not much doing there. Slamming the door on that one was Cade Sutherland again from Kawaneski Valley. That's 2 tackles for him.
Robinson was in on, might not get credit for the tackle, but he's the one that in there forced Stellar to push it back in or push it back outside into the defensive lineman.
So we'll see if the South can muster any kind of third down energy here. They haven't had a first down the entire game. Although we are only in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first quarter. He drops back to pass and throws it outside, and it goes pretty much to one of the receivers standing by the bench. So they'll have to punt again, the South will. And this is something that we're not used to because usually the South is dominating for the last 4 or 5 games, I think it was. They've just crushed them. I remember the one when Logan Libby came in at quarterback from Selinsgrove and just tore up the North. Just tore them up. Ed, why is that game so significant, Ed? Ed Weaver sitting here. That was our first coverage with PA Football News. It was 2 days after I took over.
Oh, geez, I thought you were doing it longer than that.
I was westernpafootball.net, and I was working with Eastern PA Football. And then I took over westernpafootball.net in 2018, or PA Football News in 2018. And proud to say we had 3 million page visits and over 1.5 million visitors to our website last year.
And I do know that Logan Libby is now graduated from Bloomsburg and not going to use his last 2 years of eligibility, and sounds like he might be helping out the Shikellamy Braves this season.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Teaching job at Shikellamy with IDD, with intellectually developed kids.
That's, I'll tell you what, that's the goal. That is the goal. So the North takes the ball. They're on the 28-yard line now.
You know, the South defense has played pretty well You know, they were just put in that bad spot earlier on the muff punt, and obviously the North defense scored a touchdown. But you know, the North offense really hasn't done much early on in this game either.
No, Logan Alameda in there, quarterback for that play, comes back out.
Boy, speaking of schools that had a great scholastic season, Montgomery's football team, Logan set all kinds of records as a quarterback. Colin Hans, their receiver, set records, and then fast forward to the spring, and their softball team won the school's first ever state title last week.
All right, he's got trips to the left, Caden Hess to his right, and he's looking for Caden Hess no, that's not Caden Hess. I'm sorry.
It is
Caden Hess. Yes, it was. Yep.
Number 13 for the South in coverage, Austin Rainier from Central Columbia.
This is the year Central Columbia makes it back.
It's the same thing with Shikellamy. I mean, the Heartland Athletic Conference in football is so tough, and you could be improved in almost any sport in that conference and still not improve your record just because everybody else is so good. But
yep.
I think Central has some good young kids. Took some lumps last year. I do expect them to be a little better this season.
All right, Alameda back again, and there's a big long pass. Great catch, and that's Naz Smith from Loyalsock with the catch. So Naz Smith.
That's the first time somebody's gotten downfield on either team, or at least open downfield.
It's also the longest play from scrimmage of the game. 36 yards.
And Naz Smith is from that real strong Loyalsock passing game from last season. I don't know if we'll see Schuler Weeks on offense or not. He's been playing defense so far, but that's another team that's probably going to be pretty good this season with what the talent they have back, especially offensively, is Loyalsock between Davion Hill in the backfield.
Yep.
I just think of him as Kyle Datris' cousin because somebody told me that. But the quarterback is back, and he was one of the most underrated players in the district last year. There was some games, he had at least 2 or 3 games where he was nearly 70% from completion. Their receiver was real good last season. Going deep, looks like they're going downfield.
Got it wide open, and there's Naz Smith again, wide open for the North, a 35-yard touchdown pass.
He was wide open on the play. He caught it before, and he was wide open again there. I don't know.
Logan Alameda, somebody lost drop coverage. Logan Alameda to Naz Smith, and well, I guess now you could say Smith is having a game.
He is having a game, and the UMPC North All-Stars are having a game now too. Going to be up 3 scores with 14 seconds left in the first quarter, and really have not. The South offense has done absolutely nothing so far in this game.
The extra point attempt to coming. It's up, and it's good. So with 14 seconds, it's North 22, South 0. We'll come back and run the last play of the quarter here after a message from our sponsors.
Watch the 2022 St. Luke's All-Star Awards, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. Join St. Luke's University Health Network in celebrating the region's best plays of the year, winningest teams, and most extraordinary high school and club sport athletes. For more information, visit sluhn.org/allstars. And tune in June 9th at 6:30 p.m. on 69 WFMZ TV and streaming live on WFMZ.com and the WFMZ.
All right, Todd, we're back. 14 seconds to go in this half, and it's been all North now.
Yeah, it's been all North, and we'll see what the South can do on offense here. Their best play so far has been like a 4-yard run on their previous possession on first down. Otherwise, they haven't really done much offensively.
And it was a play where the running back was actually forced up the middle.
Yeah.
So at the 2, and not much else. Back to the 15-yard line, and that's it. This defense, the defense for the North is it's a swarming defense.
Yeah, it is, and they're going to have to, the South offensive line is going to have to figure out a way to get a body on the Williamsport linebacker Robinson, and he's really disrupted them so far.
And that was Bailey Hasnikoloff or whatever Hasnikoloff or
the Muncie linebacker might work.
Yeah, in on the tackle there. The Muncie linebacker. That's a good one. I'm going to use that the rest of the game. Sorry, Bailey. And I'm sorry to anybody that's related to Bailey or knows Bailey, but this tongue don't work that way. There's a handoff on the inside. That looks like Stellar again. He gets about maybe a yard, and that'll do it for the first quarter with the North leading the South 22-0 in the District 4 All-Star game. We'll be back after a few messages from some of our sponsors.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
All right, welcome back to Ironman Stadium here in Danville, PA, with the sun just ripping the pupils out of all of us here in the press box. The South has the ball. They got a yard on the last carry, so they're on the 16-yard line. There's a quick out pass. Oh, he had his man open there, Todd, and just overthrew him.
Yeah, tried to go to Caden Hoffman from Shikellamy. Pretty hard to overthrow that dude. He's like 6'2", but the ball. Again, this is one of those things that they don't have anybody else to go in there for Pedro, so he's got to carry the load. And like I said before, he was more a running quarterback than he is a passing quarterback.
Well, let me tell you a little story that happened a couple of weeks ago in an East-West game when they lost the West small school team lost their last quarterback the day before the game, or 2 days before the game.
They almost got another one.
Number 19, that's Jack Casella from South Williamsport with the bat down. But so the West team lost their quarterback, and the coach, Brandon Bailey from Richland, had to call one of his players from Bedford, and he said, "Hey, can you play quarterback this week?" And the rest was history. He came in and threw for 5 touchdown passes. They could not stop him. I think he had, 300-plus yards of total offense, and never ran the offense for practice. So here's a little rugby-style punt.
Ethan Schleif has been the South's best weapon so far with his left foot rugby kicks.
To the 42-yard line where the North will take over. I got to give kudos to the crowd that's here in this heat. It looks like from bleacher to bleacher, there's a nice crowd. We don't have a camera that we can scan the crowd, but I'm just looking outside, and looks like a pretty good crowd out there. And over on the visitor side, where they're not facing the sun, this is where the press box should be. But so at the 42-yard line, the North takes over.
Looks like Dolina's back in at quarterback for the North All-Stars. Yep. Takes the handoff.
And that's what Max Dolina did. He got an 11-yard gain there. He did that all the time for Montoursville. Speaking of Dolina, you mentioned he's going to play baseball. Boy, they pump the baseball players out in Montoursville, don't they?
Oh, there's that Musina kid.
Yep.
He was pretty good back in the day.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I mean, I played baseball for Selinsgrove back in the early '90s, and Montoursville won a state title when I was in high school. I mean, we had Chris Massey on earlier. I think they've only had one losing season in the last 33. I think he said one
Yeah,
time.
it's just an amazing streak down there.
And the only reason it's not districts all the time is they apparently had a school rule where you had to be 600 to make it.
What a pass to Hess right there over the middle, right where it needed to be. Delina firing a rocket. Again, he's going to be a pitcher probably in college. So
that's two schools that had some wars over the years. You know, Maddox Delina and Montoursville and Caden Hess and Jersey Shore had two. At least two real good games the last 2 years between those two schools.
Second and 4, Delina's in the back. He's going to hand it off. Paluzzi off to the races, and big first down gain down to about the 27-yard line.
That's probably the biggest. That was probably the biggest injury in the district this season was the inability of Rocco Paluzzi to play at the back half of the season for Montoursville, and would probably cost them a chance at a 3A championship.
I believe so too. We had Montoursville ranked high, and I work with Eric Epler out of Penn Live, and we do rankings. So we talk rankings all the time. And as soon as he got injured, we both pretty much said that's the end of Montoursville's run. As we see a little end round, doesn't go very far.
But if they practice a lot of trick plays, that end around might come back a little bit later as something else.
Yeah, looks like Fenner there from Montoursville, Isaiah Fenner, running back.
He's a nice little weapon for them in his career as well. He played a little bit of receiver. I believe he had a big game in a district game when he was a junior for them against Loyalsock back in 2020.
So on 2nd down and 6 right now, Delina's in the backfield. Got Fenna. Fakes the handoff and throws, and there's Hess again with a nice catch for a first down. So this is actually the first real drive for either team, and the North is inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line on that pass completion by Caden Hess. What a group Tommy Graffish has had. Carter Peacock and Caden Hess, and just what a crew he's had out there.
Oh, and man, I can remember. I think it was 1997. They had a good team, and I mean that's it for Jersey Shore until Coach Graffish came in 2009, and they've been the top program in 4A, since 2010, and this coming year should be no different. I mean, if any team was going to have, a down year, if they were going to have a down year, it might have been last year. And, they didn't really skip a beat after the first couple weeks of the season. And it's going to be tough sledding up on Thompson Street Stadium for teams again this year.
Yeah, well, they ran into a buzzsaw in Aliquippa last year. And, Tommy said, we just couldn't keep up with them. It's big.
Yeah. Well, that Aliquippa line, man.
They were big, all right, but they had them until near the end of the third quarter.
I just imagine that running back as a senior is going to be just amazing.
Taquai Hayes is amazing for Aliquippa. As we see another nice gain, Smith with another reception inside the 10 to the 9-yard line for the North. 7:52 to play in the first half, 22-0. The North leads. That's looks like about a 7-yard pickup there, maybe a long 6.
Yeah, they could have. Going to bring up a 3rd down here. We'll see. We'll see what the North goes with, and wonder if the field goal's in the realm of possibilities for this if they don't get it. It's an all-star game. I don't know why you would go for it.
Well, we don't know. I'll tell you what, we're going to find out after this timeout. And while there's a timeout on the field, let's take a timeout from our broadcast and hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be back after these messages.
There are 2 things in life that you can't outrun: taxes and death. Everything else you can outrun if you're fast enough. You can teach speed.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Satuski from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, we're back live at Ironman Stadium. The North leading in the District 4 All-Star game, the District 4 Coaches Association All-Star game. 22-0 the North leads. This drive right here has been all North. They've driven from just over the 50-yard line. They're down on the 9. We got a third down, Todd, and 4 yards to go. A long 4.
Maybe a long 4. I wonder if see a little read option with Mr. Delina and Mr. Rocco Paluzzi who are in the backfield together. Or just a pitch to Rocco.
We're just going to give it to Rocco and tell him to go get the first down, and he's going to get right down to near the goal line there, around the 2-yard line. Cam Fabian from North Penn on the tackle there, among other players. We got to give North Penn a shout out. I've seen North Penn only one time in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, it was a COVID year, and they went to Bald Eagle, and it just wasn't pretty. They were shorthanded as it was, and Bald Eagle had a great team. And
I like that little island, that little park field they play on by the river. When I've been up there a couple times, I think Mount Carmel's played there twice.
All right, there's a handoff, and that's Fabian, and in for the touchdown. 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the game in the first half. Cam Fabian from North Penn. Got to call his name again, and he got a touchdown this time.
Yeah, it also looks like this game is getting out of hand quickly as the North goes up by 4 scores and maybe 5 if they get to 29 here with the.
I'll have to ask my statistician: is there a point limit at which? Well, our statistician, who also helps run this game, doesn't know. So we'll come back to Ed from Circle W Sports when he has the answer for us. But 28-0, and make it 29-0. Fenner with the kick, and it's a big lead with 7:12 to go in the first half. The North just in command. Let's take another commercial break here, and we'll be back after a word from one of our sponsors. Go Route. Yeah, we like Go Route. They pay me good. There's another North Penn player.
I think the South is going to need at least one first down on this drive here.
That's another team that every once in a while has a good team. North Penn. Their last one was about 4 or 5 years ago.
They're probably trying to talk to Burley's into having a couple more boys, I would guess.
Fake handoff and just
nowhere
this
to go.
Defense just swarms, and that's on that is Avery Campbell from Williamsport. Avery Campbell. I want you to notice also there's a number 99 from the North. One of my favorite football players on the field right there. Dade Splain. I got to see another Splain today, Ed, from Bald Eagle area. There's two Splains on the field last year. Splain is an unusual name, and there were 3 Splains playing football last year. I know. Who's from Berwick? Like to mention, with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left, Ed Weaver mentioned that I'm from Berwick. And there's a nice little carry. That's an inside joke, Todd. 27. Weeks Schuler, Javral Weeks Schuler from Loyalsock. We do a weekly show in the fall.
Yeah.
And I travel all over the place. And at some point during the show, I joke about me being from Berwick. And now it's become, when will Billy mention he's from Berwick?
I would have bet halftime if Carm's coming out.
I don't consider Carm a Berwick guy. He was just he was a babysitter in Berwick for a couple of years for us.
Yes, but
He's Carm. We're gonna bring Carm DeFrancisco, longtime area coach. He was down here in Danville, and
I've been doing this so long. The first time I met Carm, he was coaching Cardinal Brennan.
wow,
Which doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't. And there's a long pass and just out of reach. That would have been a good play for. That would have been a nice reception there for Gage Wolf from Shikellamy. But yeah, Carm's been around for quite a while, and what a career he has. We had him on. We did a show a couple of years ago called the 2021 season rollout coaches cookout, and Carm came down, and of course, Carm's daughter is married to the Central Dolphin coach's head daughter. So we brought them both in, had them together, and that made for a great conversation with them down there. And, I love Carm. He's just such a great guy.
Oh, I don't. You're not getting any argument out of me. I mean, he's always been there for me when I needed anything from him, and he's always helped He's another one that's always helped anybody out that's asked.
It looked like Ethan was looking for a receiver at that time, but couldn't find anybody.
He got a nice little roll, too.
Punt takes a roll. Yeah, Carm going to Berwick. I know, like, on some of these websites and stuff like that, these on Facebook and things like that, some of the people were giving Carm a hard time about being there and not having a stellar record. But he kept them respectable at a time when he needed to keep them respectable. I mean, I would talk to some people, and they would just be like, oh, Carm's not a good coach. And I would just look at him and say, have you seen Carm's record?
I mean, look at the difference between that team that played at Southern Columbia to open the season last year, and the improvements they made over the season just last year. That wasn't a good. I know they had a lot of injuries, but that wasn't a great football team at the beginning of the year that lost down at Southern last year.
That's right. And so the North back, and there's a long ball, and it's caught. That's Marone to Week Schuler from Loyalsock. Big gain.
Having a hard time with the Loyalsock receivers between Weeks and Naz Smith so far for the South secondary.
Looks like a 38-yard gain inside South territory again. It's tough to watch. You want both teams to do good for their last game. It's hard to watch the South struggling like they are, but they're just outgunned.
Yeah, and the rules. You can only play man defense, and there's some tough matchups for people on this North offense.
So Pelezzi in the backfield, and I think he'll get the ball, and a couple of yards, maybe 2 yards. Looks like the ref's going to give him a yard. So it's a 1 yard gain on that play. I'll tell you, the sun is starting to set, and I can't wait until it goes behind that. What's that mountain over there, Todd?
I don't even.
Does that mountain have a name, or is it just mountain?
I'm sure it probably does, but I don't know what it is.
Does anybody know what that mountain's?
Ball top.
Ball top. All right. Come on, ball top. Eat the sun. All right. I knew somebody in this press box would know the name of that mountain. We name all the mountains because as human beings, we're just weird that way. There goes Delina. And Delina down the sideline and inside the 15-yard line to about the 12-yard line.
I believe that was Frankie Marone.
That was Marone, and as a college football coach watching this game, maybe that's a tackle you don't want to see.
No.
But it looks scarier from up here than it really is.
there's probably a lot of college coaches that watch these games, especially the kids that aren't going to play football, that probably watch games like this with their with their hearts in their throats sometimes.
It breaks my heart. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm sure you feel about the NCAA the same way I do, and they have this stupid, silly rule that college coaches can't come to all-star games.
I'm sure there's some dumb reason for it.
Well, yeah. Pretty much most of everything the NCAA does has a dumb reason.
This is true.
Yeah. It's something to do with recruiting, but they're not allowed to come watch an all-star game. And it's just like, to me, it doesn't make any sense because, for Division I, the recruiting period is over. The only thing I can think of is, and that's where you worry about, like, who cares about, Division II is important, but so what if they come here and pick up a guy?
Well, if you're picking up a guy in June anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the signing period for the Division I teams is over.
Yeah.
Is Marone's back to pass, and he throws it over the middle and short. But, the recruiting period's over for Division I. Now, Division II teams can sign right up until August, and they can sign players right up till August. But so what if they find a guy?
Yeah, I would think that would only help somebody at this point, especially the way recruiting's gone the last couple of years with everybody with extra years and such things.
And the portal, not a fan of the portal at all. I do recruiting. I help kids get recruited, and 2 years ago I didn't know what to tell them. But however, I do see the portal is falling apart. I think somebody quoted a stat the other day: only 53% of the players that entered the portal were picked up last year.
Well, I mean, it's gotta slow down at some point. There's only so many spots.
So Marone throws a quick out, and that was Week Schuler again.
Going to bring up a 4th down now. See what looks like they're going to discuss it here quick.
Well, they don't have anything listed as a kicker, but
they've been using Fenner.
They've been using Fenner,
kicker,
and he can kick.
Yes,
he's got a leg. I know he made our weekly list a couple of times last year. We do a weekly all-star list during the games.
I was going to say, I think the best kicker in the district is a returner, Breck Miller from Jersey Shore, who I think is at the district.
Boy, what a leg that kid has. Wow. So we're going to take a timeout here. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Yeah, Coach Ryan. But I mean, like, you see the picture that they have right now.
Yeah.
As soon as they go live, they're going to back out anyway. We have, like, there's no reason to back out.
All right, here we go.
We keep cutting off go route. Good. All right, we're back live, Todd, and North. Oh, there's a little double reverse.
It's like Nas Smith. Who came in there? It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. It looked like 55.
And Davitt.
And 3. Yeah, Davitt. Davitt and Schaefer.
It is going to be stopped short.
Thomas Davitt on the tackle from Mount Carmel. So that's a big stop for the North. Big stop.
Huge. Now we'll see if the offense can do anything.
Here is the winning 50-50 ticket number 7.
South, I don't believe South has a first down yet, do they?
I think they have 1. I'm going to say 1.
It's going to be Stellar in the backfield again.
And he's dropped for a loss. Loses about a yard back to the 3-yard line.
Sebastian Robinson again on the tackle.
I wish we had somebody keeping defensive stats because he's got to have at least 5 or 6 tackles.
Yeah, I think they're going to discuss him at halftime. Somebody getting a body on that team.
Yes, yeah. He's gonna earn a dedicated helmet from the north.
It's 9-0 in first downs. So the South does not have a first down yet, and facing a 2nd and 11 deep in their own territory.
There's a handoff in dangerous territory, and he just gets outside the end zone there. Looks like he might have lost another half a yard or so.
Looks like number 73 for the UMPC North, Cade Sadolano from Kalawowski.
He's having a game. He's got 4 tackles that I've counted right now.
He didn't get a tackle there, but he just barely missed him in the end zone for the safety and blew up the play blew up the South's running play. And now I think South's going to let the play clock run down to 1 and take a timeout here on 3rd down. It looks like.
They just want to get out of the inning.
Head into the locker room and regroup a little bit. They were talking about Bill Scott earlier. This would be a perfect time for the old Bill Scott quick kick right here.
Yeah, there you go. Bill, whatever happened, where's Bill now? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure he's still living in Selinsgrove.
Is he still in Selinsgrove?
Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago is the last I saw him, though.
We've seen some good games with Bill Scott at the head of Selinsgrove, down, of course, at Hershey for the state championship games.
Yeah. I was going to say he was my gym teacher.
That was in the snow, I believe, wasn't it?
It was pretty darn cold.
It was cold that night.
It was pretty darn cold.
Selinsgrove, always a formidable team every year.
They should be pretty good again this year. I mean, they lose the Heil kid, but there's a lot of sophomores and juniors on that team that got a lot of time last year.
Speaking of Brandon Heil, he came in late in the Big 33 game. Of course, I'm on the committee for the Big 33 game, but we lost a player right before the game, and we brought Brandon Heil in, and the coaches were just all salivating when they saw him on the field. They were just like, what? And he did. He played his heart out, and he had one heck of a game. I personally thought Brandon Heil should have been on the team in place of someone else, but what a pickup it had for the Big 33, and what a game and what an experience. He gave up a couple of track events to be able to play in that game.
Well, I was going to say he was a baseball kid until this year, and this is his first year at track, and he ended up as the silver medalist in the javelin in his first year as a traffic athlete. Walked off of Shippensburg, went over and played in the Big 33 game Sunday, and he's headed out to Kutztown, and I think they got a real good one, and somebody that you could do a lot of different things with on both sides of the ball. Hello.
Little play stoppage here. I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you what.
Whistle dead.
I just felt a nice cool breeze come through the window, and I was happy about it. I think Dan was happy about it too. All right.
Another
There's
handoff.
a handoff, and he gets about 2 yards out of it. You got him some punting room, Todd.
It was Davitt, number 3 again for Mount Carmel. Looks like. Have you ever given the offensive MVP to the punter? This seems to be the way it's going for the South right now. As Ethan Schleif is back on.
Oh, well, Dan just told me in the Schuylkill League game last year, the punter got the offensive MVP. Dan the man knows his Schuylkill League football.
Oh. Looks like somebody from the South was a little late running on there. We're going to get a delay in an All-Star game? We are going to get a delay in an All-Star game. Oh, nope, timeout.
We're going to call timeout. We got 26 seconds left, Todd. We'll keep it right here. And how long you been with the Daily Item, Todd?
This is going to be my 30th football season, Billy.
Wow, 30 years with the Item.
Amazing. I was going to say I was 17, I think I was. I was just doing some stuff. Cam Michaels from Lewisburg, his dad scored a touchdown the first week I covered a game. Carson Persingh's dad was the quarterback for Shikellamy back then. it's been a long time.
But it's fun though to see the names come back around.
Oh man,
it's
except
fun.
when you realize that you're old now too.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is fun to see the names come around, and every once in a while, I know like when I cover like Wyoming Valley Conference, I'll look and I'll see all from very familiar names from years and years ago, back up from 20, 25 years ago. They've had kids, and their kids are now playing football, so it's fun to see that. So here comes the punt from the South.
Oh, another low snap.
Dropped it. And he gets the punt off.
Well, if he gets a good roll, it's going to roll dead near the 50 and cross into North territory.
So to the 13 seconds left, we're probably going to see a long ball. But, hey, speaking of the South, there's a couple of guys out there from Southern Columbia who are not used to being in this position.
No, not at all. Well, they did. Wyoming Missing did do a number on them in that game. They lost in the regular season, but again, right now it's just hard. It's just hard for South to get traction against this North team. And
you can call it a star-studded North team.
Yeah, and the other thing is there's a lot of kids on this South team that aren't used to losing like this. Looks like Colin Findora of Danville is in a defensive back or a defensive end. Big 6'7" kid going to Lackawanna College to play offensive line.
And they're going to call a timeout after that run with 6.8 seconds left in the first half, Todd.
As a man that always works on deadline, I would question why you would run the ball and call timeout. But hey, you are also handing it to Rocco Paluzzi, so.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that is probably you got a chance there to rip one of those off. It's like, handing off to Gavin Garcia late in the game to run the clock out or score a touchdown or things like that. You talked about kids ended up following the Southern girls basketball team around, and their coach is Jim Ross' daughter. And I remember when the triplets played sports.
Yeah.
Jim has two daughters and a son that are triplets, and now she's a head coach of a team that made a state final, and it's just named after. I covered a lot of that Selinsgrove baseball team this past week, and I think 6 of those kids I graduated with their parents.
Wow. So one play to go here.
Looks like Alameda is in, 3 to the left. Oh, I thought we might get a
going
trick play.
Long.
Left it short.
And it's intercepted.
I'm thinking
he's gonna run out of room, but
I thought he had the corner.
Aiden Herb from Line Mountain with the interception. One for the Eagles to end the half. So at halftime here, we've got the North with a 29-0 lead over the South in the District 4 Coaches Association All-Star Game here at beautiful Ironman Stadium, built by Land Tech Corporation. And I'll tell you what, the sun is setting behind Ball Mountain over there. It's going to be a beautiful second half, Todd.
Yes, it is. And once that sun goes down, I hope there's a little bit more of a breeze.
You mentioned the referees. They've done a good job. I've been at All-Star games. I was at one last year that lasted 4 hours.
To be in their defense, some of these District 4 All-Star games where it's been 60 to 42 doesn't help the length either.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, hey, listen, we're going to hear from a couple of our sponsors, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to rest our voices for a couple moments here, and we'll be back with more from Ironman Stadium and the North leading 29-0 in the District 4 Coaches Association All-Star Game.
you step out on that field, everyone is equal. Talent, it means nothing. They may be more talented than you, but if you show more heart, if you show more focus, if you just decide this day that you will never accept second place to anyone, if you do that, if you all do that, there's no one we cannot defeat, and there's no one that will want to challenge us ever again. So do you want to go out there like every other player, like every other team, or do you want to stand up this day to make this day count? Make it count.
Watch the 2022 St. Luke's All-Star Awards, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. Join St. Luke's University Health Network in celebrating the region's best plays of the year, winningest teams, and most extraordinary high school and club sport athletes. For more information, visit sluhn.org/allstars and tune in June 9th at 6:30 p.m. on 69 WFMZ TV and streaming live on WFMZ.com and the WFMZ Plus app.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
All right, here we are back live, and standing with me right now to my left is Justin Van Fleet. Justin, the president of District 4 Association. This game's been missing for a couple of years. What did it take to bring it back?
Well, unfortunately, the past couple seasons, obviously, there was the issues with COVID, but in addition to that, we always had the Lions Club running the game, and last season they weren't able to put it together. So it came back to the Coaches Association to do it. So it was a large undertaking, kind of starting from scratch and then building from there. But luckily, right off the bat, we were able to get great sponsorship by UPMC and Geisinger of each team. And with the appropriate funding, everything else can fall in place pretty well.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And, we were talking about Justin, of course, is also the head coach for Loyal Sock. And right now, one of your guys is just having a heck of a game. Nas Smith, one heck of a game from the kid from Williamsport, too. But I'll tell you what, we talked about earlier how the last couple of times this game was played, the South, of course, with Selinsgrove and Logan Libby and Southern Columbia was dominating. But looking at the roster this year, we all kind of had a consensus that this could be the North's year, and the North's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's generally over the time period oscillated between North and South, and really it comes down to, in a sense, since the rules dictate that offense is set, if you have some wide receivers that can run and you've got some quarterbacks that can throw, it's kind of hard to stop if you're in full man coverage with no blitzing.
Yeah, what's it like to be a coach and not have to worry about coaching a game? You don't have all the stress like that, but you get to be a part of the game.
I think in large part I'd rather coach the game because there's so many moving pieces. It was interesting to kind of build up to the moment, get everything put together. But I was supposed to come up to the press box and sit and do stats, and I said, I'll stay over there and hang out and have a fun time.
Yeah, well, we have Ed doing the stats.
Yes,
there,
you do.
So
it makes it easier.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Circle W Sports, Ed Weaver does a great job for us, and of course, the stats are available right after the game, and we love that thing, and we love Ed. And he takes care of us too, and does a good job for District 4 as well. You know, he does a great job with
Yeah,
District
Ed does
4.
a tremendous amount, and he assisted in being a smaller sponsor of this game, but his services are really his sponsorship. He comes to all of our meetings. He provides the information for our combine. He runs the website. He does a lot for us.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. There's many times I tell him I have to peel him away from the District 4 duties to work on my website. But
No, you don't. you don't. This is an equitable process, Billy.
I'll tell you a story about Ed Weaver and how dedicated he is to District 4. We were down at the Schuylkill County All-Star game a couple of weeks ago, and it was 108 degrees on the field that day. We were cooking in the press box. And then I came home, and I called Ed, and he said he was still in Elysburg sitting at Sheets waiting for the softball results so he could update the practice on the District 4 website.
Yeah, he's involved with almost every aspect of technology in District 4 athletics. So
yeah,
he's a core part of everything that's done, not just in football, but everything up here. So we love him. So no, you can't have him full time for your website.
We're actually, if I had it my way, I've been shopping Ed out. There are more districts out there that can use a guy like Ed and the stuff that he has. But great job of putting this game together, Justin. I appreciate you stopping up here, and we look forward to the second half. Hopefully the South can do something to make a game out of this, and continued success, for Loyal Sock. You look like you're going to have a good year this year. You got a nice core returning starters coming back.
Yep, I appreciate it, and thank you very much, always for your support of football throughout the state of Pennsylvania, and certainly for your coverage of this game.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yep, take care.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back after a message from our sponsors. We want to thank a couple of them. We want to thank Funding Zone for being a sponsor on our website, of course, and Go Route and Vapor Trail. We just have a whole plethora of great sponsors. We'll be back after these messages. Pretty clever move. All right, here we are back live at Ironman Stadium, and boy, do we have a legend with us today, Todd.
Who? No, it's just kidding.
Carm DeFrancisco. You've coached everywhere, Carm.
Bill,
I mean, all over the place.
We were just talking about that, Bill. It's been a great ride. You make one move, and one move turns into another one, and yeah, it's been a great experience. 40 years I've coached at District 11, District 4, District 3, District 2. Yep.
And Todd's been there for almost all of them.
Todd, we were just talking about that. He said he started covering me at the Cardinal Brennan High School where I got my start. Yep.
Dan Vilsey, Upper Dolphin.
Upper Dolphin, yeah, it was a great run we had
back
there.
in the Shamokin Lords days.
Oh, yeah.
When
yes,
the Lords had football, yeah.
It was a big game, Cardinal Brennan Lords.
Yeah, and fresh off a stint with Berwick.
Oh,
who,
yeah. Well, that was my cream of the that was my icing on the cake, Billy. It was a great experience.
Yeah, great experience. So what are you doing now, Carm?
I'm retired. We're just watching some football. I've got 7 grandkids, and they're all over the state. So Virginia and I are traveling. I've got football players. We have wrestlers. We have soccer players. So we're just out enjoying it. enjoying life.
That's good to hear.
Yep.
Somebody have to explain soccer to you when you
Yes,
go to
it's hard to watch. Yes, it is. I didn't realize how big that field is, Todd. Yeah, that's a bigger field. Yeah.
Yes.
No, we're really enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, soccer is a different game. So like you've been all over the place.
Yes.
What was it like landing at Berwick?
Yeah,
You know,
well-
after having run after run of great success.
Bill, this is just was fate. I applied for the job in 2005 when George left, and I got a little cold feet. I was still at Shamokin, and I changed my mind, and he wasn't too happy about that. So I retired and retired teaching and coaching. And one summer, I'm out on the golf course, and I get a call from my college roommate who had a beer with Bo Orlando, and a couple of phone calls with Bo, and I'm going for an interview. And Virginia was my wife was so thrilled. It's good to have a wife like I have.
Yeah.
So that job just fell on my lap, and I couldn't pass that up. And I've had the greatest experience of any coach. When I think of the schools that I've coached at, Billy, I mean, it's been I've been lucky, been real lucky. And Bo Orlando was the finest human being I've ever met in my life. I'm gonna miss Bo.
Yeah, he's like an ant on a hot plate.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot of fun though. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so some of your favorite memories with Carm, Todd.
Oh, geez. He's probably not going to like this one, but the one that always sticks out to me is the 99-yard quarterback sneak in the coal bucket. I told you weren't going to like it.
Oh, that's
but it's one of the strangest plays I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we had Mount Carmel. Oh, I can't believe. You know what, Billy? He ran that quarterback sneak. He broke up the middle and ran to our sidelines. And I'm telling you, for a moment, I was going to tackle him because I knew my job was. I saw my job going right down because we were up on him at the Silver Bowl. And if you ever seen a game, that's a game you have to experience. That's a game with 10,000 people there. And if we would have beat Mount Carmel one time, Bill, I swear to God, I'd still be at Shamokin. But anyway,
you'd be the president of Northumberland County.
Yeah, if you beat them, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
We still beat Shamokin.
I have a sponsor on my website, Victory Fitness, out of State College, and their owner Rob Oshinsky.
Oh, I know Rob very well.
Rob very well. And,
yes.
And I tease him all the time, and he says, "Hey, you can't tease me. I held the cold bucket. I held the bucket."
He did. That's right. Yep. And then we were playing my last year at Mount Carmel, Billy. We had that game lost. We were in overtime. We were up. I forget what the score is, but we were losing. Yeah, we're losing. We had a 4th and 12. 4th and 12. And we scored in the corner of the end zone and kicked the extra point and won the game. But we almost lost that football game. And I don't know I have nightmares of thinking handing that coal bucket over. So
See, now Todd, that's just a testament to how important local rivalries are. Yeah. It is. I mean, look at all Carm's done at all the schools he's been at, and we're talking about one game played every year. For a wooden bucket, for a coal bucket.
Yeah. You know, when I got to Berwick, Bill, we're trying to find the rivalries, but I've never seen anything to match the Mount Carmel Shamokin thing.
You know,
there's just nothing like it.
You know, being from Berwick.
Yep.
There's the Berwick reference, Ed. Being from Berwick, we really never had a rival.
Mount Carmel, you did.
If you go back, we had a rivalry with Mount Carmel, but then we also had a rivalry with Shikellamy.
Yep, and Pottsville.
In Pottsville, we played. So, like, we were kind of like, everybody was our rival. We had huge ones. And I know, like, as a Bulldog, we hated seeing a Diminick come into our stadium.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
We didn't like that. Yep. I think the last time Berwick played Mount Carmel, one of the Diminick kids ran a touchdown back, a kickoff back for a touchdown. I'm pretty sure that was.
It was Johnny Diminick.
Johnny
Diminick. Yep. I was coaching then. I was a young assistant coach then.
Yeah.
I remember coaching against Bo, and I was coaching the defensive ends, and we were coaching those guys to stay home. And Bo ran 2 bootlegs on us, beat us 14-13 his junior year. That was
Bo was a great football player.
He was the best. He was the best.
Yeah, so we're getting ready for kickoff here at Carm. Thanks for stopping by.
Bill, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's always good to talk to you, Carm, and we're going to get back to this game right now.
Thank you.
And we hope that the South can muster up some
we got to get something going here.
Yeah,
all right, thanks, guys.
So, thanks a lot, Carm.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, good
Enjoy it. All right, we're back, and looks like we're getting ready to kick off. We're going to have Tan turn the cameras around and get ready for the kickoff in the second half of the game.
Glad I put a collared shirt on and took my Mario Brothers shirt off to do this. I didn't know it's going to be on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
kickoff to, looks like Naz Smith again for the North, and they are going to take over at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
I mean, this is something the South didn't want to see as the North have the ball.
No, probably not.
So
not in the least.
29-0.
It also would probably help. I see some of the one of the guys that was picked for this game but couldn't play because of an injury. I think the South would probably get a little help from Teague Hoover, who's sitting down in the stands watching the game.
You're right. Teague was a good football player.
He hurt his hamstring during the Seals, who made another run to the state baseball finals and was injured. He's going to play baseball for former Lewisburg and Major League pitcher Steve Klein out at IUP.
Wow. As the sun falls behind Ball Mountain, there's a handoff.
Looked like it was Paluzzi
Looked
again.
like Paluzzi took the handoff, and he gets about 4 yards on the play.
Delina back in at quarterback. It's hard to rip off these offensive lines, the offensive linemen and stuff during from these all-star games. But you also the offensive line for the North has played real well in giving the quarterbacks enough time to make some of those plays down the field that they've been able to hit Naz Smith and Schuler Weeks on here in the first half.
Under center, and it's another handoff to Paluzzi. I think this is what we're going to see a lot of this half. And look at Paluzzi go. Just grind and grind. Boy, you wonder what could have been if he didn't get hurt for Montoursville.
Well, he's a kid that got hurt the previous season too as well when and wasn't able to play in that district championship game that Danville beat them in up there. And it's one of those things that it's football. It happens, and he's just one of those kids that it happened to happen to twice, and that really, it wasn't. I don't think it was. They didn't have the running backs to replace him. It was more kind of the explosive plays that he gave that Montoursville offense.
Yeah, and we're talking about great teams. We got to talk about the home team right here, Danville. Always for the last few years, Mike Brennan has really got that team cranking.
And they're probably. I would say that they're one of the probably got a good chance to be one of the better teams down this way. He has one of those tough decisions to make at quarterback. Zach Gordon played real well for them, and then when he got hurt, Madden Patrick played real well for them. And they have Carson Persing on the outside, who's close to, believe it or not, who's close to some of Julian Fleming's numbers at Southern Columbia over his 4 years. Ty Stauffer's getting some 1AA looks. He ran for 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, Ty's got a couple offers.
There's going to be there's a couple. They're going to have to find some spots. On the offensive line, Mason Raup, I believe, is the only linebacker back. It's a pretty good linebacker to have back. He has 300 tackle seasons going into his senior season as a 4-year starter for him. But they should be, probably one of the top teams in 3A in District 4, if not the state, if things break right for them.
I think they'll be ranked in the state on PA Football News for sure. I mean, Benjamin's a big loss for them. He was a big part of their defense. At linebacker.
And the Fundura kid who had never played football before his junior season has improved enough to, be able to play at Lackawanna Junior College. He's going to be a tough one to replace as an offensive lineman for them. But they with the breakup, it's the league out your way that Bellefonte was in. The schools around the Mountain League ended up with some. Danville's got Bellefonte and Huntington on the schedule.
Yep.
Selinsgrove's got Bellefonte and I believe
Hollidaysburg
in the schedule. So, that's some teams that struggled a bit last year, but it gives you some 5A power points, for that 3A thing. And between Danville, Loyalsock, and Montoursville, 3A is going to be real tough this season. And whoever comes out of there has got to be one of the, I don't want to say a favorite, but it gives himself a shot at a state title in 3A.
What a pleasure seeing the way the ball control Paluzzi has as he's running, switching back and forth, and you don't teach those kind of instincts. He just knows how to keep that ball secure and makes a 1-yard play into a looks like a 25-yard play.
And they are down to the 20 again, and they're rolling offensively again as the North offense.
Yeah, the Mountain League got our way. This is the last year for the Mountain League. They're linking up with the Laurel Highlands League next year, as we see that beautiful sunset over there on Ball Mountain in Danville. What towns are we looking towards over there? We're looking towards Mifflinburg and
Milton, I guess, would be
Milton.
the closest one that way.
So, great shot, Dan. Good idea. There's a handoff up the middle.
This is number 3.
That looked
Number
like
9.
Fabian on that carry from North Mansfield. Well, exactly what happened is what we hoped to happen. It's turned into a beautiful night for football.
Yes, and it's like summer around here all the time. Once the sun goes down, it gets nice and temperate, and can't complain much about it. And once, maybe if we could, a little bit more breeze, I'd probably be a lot more happier. But other than that, it's okay.
And for the South, the big loss for the South right now is Austin Reeders on the sideline. He's just a little dinged up, so nothing serious with him. The trainers are ignoring him. They just sitting him down. There goes Delina. He's looking around, and nearly intercepted, tipped at the goal line.
I don't think he saw the person in coverage there underneath.
That was Herb from Line Mountain on that coverage.
He's trying to rocket one into the back of the end zone couldn't tell if it was Hess or Schuler back there.
You know, it's funny because, like, you see him, he's holding his helmet and everything, Herb is, and almost had that interception. For kids like them, this is their last chance to get an interception, you know? I mean, they have a shot to get the interception, and you know, that's going to probably, he's going to be like, I wish I caught that ball someday, you know? I wanted that ball. Even though they're losing, it's a highlight for them. And there's going to be a penalty, which have been few and far between, thankfully.
I was going to say, I think it's other than the roughing the kicker that was declined, I'm not sure there was a flag in the first half.
As long as we keep it so that they can hear me, I'll talk about it. Coming up on July 29th, the Big 33 has a golf scramble down in at Dolphin Highlands Golf Course on the 29th for the Big 33. So if you like golf, you can go to big33.org and find out more about that golf scramble. They'll have some prizes down there. They'll have lots of guests down there. That's the Big 33 golf schedule. And it's sponsored by Journeys Travel. It's the Journey Travel Big 33 Golf Scramble. July 29th at Dolphin Highlands Golf Course. You can register on big33.org.
Cam Francis carries down to the 2, bringing up a second and goal from about the 1.5, it looks like.
Second and one. Second and a long one.
Ooh, is that a fullback?
That definitely was a fullback, and as soon as he stands up and clears the air, we'll get the number on that fullback.
25.
Oh, okay. So that was Bailey.
Oh, I guess you got to call him the Muncie fullback instead of the Muncie linebacker now, Belly.
The guy from Muncie, Bailey. Yeah.
Looks like those two are lined up in the backfield again. Bailey Haskinoff and Cam Francis from North Penn Mansfield.
And Delaney's just going to take it up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
The 6'4" quarterback from the 1 is usually a good idea as well.
It is, yes. Especially when you have a kid in front of you like Thomas Forrest from Athens. That's a lot of beef. And Hunter Hanna from Montoursville on the other side, they just opened that and made the room for him.
Actually, I think the scary part about that is Delina's probably just as big as those two.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's probably like 20 pounds less at 240, 230. He's a big kid.
Yep. So with the kick right here, the North will take a commanding 36-0 lead with 6 minutes left in the District 4 Coaches Association All-Star Game. And as a tribute to my friend Jimmy Doyle sitting to my right, I'm going to take us away with "We'll be back in 60 seconds."
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
There are two things in life.
All right, we're back. We're talking about bones and ears and listening to each other. We got Jimmy Doyle from WHLM over to our right. I got Todd Hummel from the Daily Item, who's been there forever. And there's a return and nice move there, Todd.
That was by Julian Stellar. He was pretty close to taking that being out of bounds there at the 5.
Yeah, that was a good move. They're up. This point, it might be some of their best field position of the day.
He just made Carter Peacock from Jersey Shore miss. We were talking about Brandon Heil earlier. I think one of the biggest collisions I saw this season was in the district title game between Carter Peacock and Brandon Heil when Brandon was returning a punt. They both had 5 feet out of bounds when they ran into each other. I know that's a shocker between those two.
All right, and so Feliciano will bring him to the line. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get, looks like, a little more than 5 yards on that carry.
New running back, looks like Semko's in for them. It's been, most of the time, it's been Julian Stellar beside him, beside Feliciano, his fellow running back. That's one of their best offensive plays of the game, and gives them second and 5.
So 2nd and 5. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and maybe 2 yards, maybe a couple more yards. But that's Semko.
Looks like it's
I'm sorry, Weeks. Yeah, that's Semko on that carry there.
Like both Schick running backs are in right now for the South. Gage Wolf was in the backfield with Colton Semko as well.
I don't know much. I don't know if Feliciano threw the ball much last year, but he doesn't have a lot of weapons here to throw the ball to. I think Mount Carmel's more of a running team.
Yeah, they ran for, I think it was a school record in almost 7,000 yards last year. And it helps to have 300-pound offensive linemen.
It does help. Matt Kelly's a big boy. And,
Matt Chicatano just committed to Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina has really been doing a good job of recruiting in Pennsylvania, and that's a big get for Chicatano. Big kid. Got to see him again. I saw him today up at Penn State. Just a big kid, and the Chicatano name in Mount Carmel, it doesn't end with him.
No, and well, I always have to. Chicatano is one of those names you always have to think about because they spell it 3 different ways out there too. So they're all. I believe somebody once told me they're all from the same general branch of the family. It's all split out, feuds, Cole region.
That's them Italians. They don't know how to spell. And the quick count draws the north off sides.
False start.
And they're going to get a false start. So just the wheels just keep falling off for the South. I hate to see it. I'd rather see a good game. But, Todd, I got to tell you right now, it has been a pleasure doing this game with you. This is my last All-Star game of the year as far as broadcasts go. We only broadcast All-Star games. We don't do regular season games. I don't believe any regular season game should ever be online. They should be, if maybe a big game gets televised like it used to be back in the day. But, that's that's my belief. I believe you lose fans because it gives them an option to stay home and watch the game. We didn't advertise this game was being on our website until last night.
Yeah, well, we've been the local cable, the SEC8 that's doing the game around here has been doing a game of the week probably for the last 3 or 4 years. That's one of the things. That's one of the things that I miss. I used to do Lewisburg on the radio for 3 or 4 years back at the beginning part, maybe the early part of the 2010s. And, that's a way for people to stay connected to their football program. It's, if you can't go, it's usually on the radio. And
I don't mind radio.
Yeah, and it's always been like that. And the Coal Region teams, there's not a lot of radio stations out there, and Black Diamond Sports ends up doing a real good job. Their online stuff.
Yep, Fegley and company.
Yeah, over at Southern, they do Danville now, Lime Mountain, and it's, it's a chance. We were just talking about the schedules. I mean, it's going to be hard for some people, Danville people, to get to Huntington at 7:00 on a Friday night, and it's just and it's also a way, most of these guys that do these games, you're not doing it for the money. Most of the time, it is for the love of the game.
Yeah. They'll find a way to get there, though.
Oh yeah,
they'll find a way to get there. If you don't give them the option, they'll find a way. They'll get there. And I just remember back in the day when you were on TV, that was a big deal. And if you were on TV, like back in like the late 70s, Berwick had like this they had their local Berwick cable channel that they would record the game and then show it that night or the next day. Big sack.
Looks like Jesse Davis for Danville in there. Nice for the home kid.
But that was the thing, we showed the game, and I've mentioned it, I said, it's okay. Hey, if your fans want to see it and they're in California, just run it on a tape delay so that, don't give the fans an option to stay home. I tell a story all the time. Bald Eagle area started televising their games, webcasting their games a couple of years ago, and they made their first ever trip into the state playoffs. And it was drizzly that night on a state playoff game, and the stands were half empty. And Jesse saw the numbers of the people that watched it online, and he wasn't happy. I can say that right now. And that's just a testament to how people, you give them an excuse. As that play got blown up there.
It was more of a poor, kind of a bad snap back to Frankie Marone, and he was able to get it away there.
Another loss on the play, so the South defense is coming up strong.
You take, the couple of long pass plays, and they've had their backs against the wall. The South defense has not played all that poorly tonight.
No, they've played a good game.
It's just a matter of, they've had a hard time matching up on the outside, and they ended up with a muff punt, set up a short field, and a pick six accounted for 2 of these touchdowns.
And this is probably going to be the last play of the third quarter. 20 seconds and counting. Delina or Marone back to pass, and what a collision there. What a collision. That was an incomplete pass, but a heck of a collision there.
Well, I think Aiden Herb was set up to pick the pass off, and Naz Smith got there pretty quick.
And that's the final play of the third quarter with the score. North leading 36-0. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The team that we have put together of sport performance coaches and athletic trainers is why parents should choose St. Luke's University Health Network for their sport performance needs.
St. Luke's and our coaches are going to provide the safest and most comprehensive training environment that a student athlete would want. And I don't think there's anything in this area that can rival it.
There are 2 things in life that you can't
22,
outrun.
remember when 22 used to do a game?
Taxes
back
and
in the
death.
90s? Yeah. Like they
Everything
did
else,
Southern.
you can outrun.
Joe Zone, remember Joe Zone used to do them?
If you're fast enough.
Yeah, no. Wellsboro doesn't get W.
You can teach
It was
speed.
W. All right, I want to thank Tommy Hughes of Vapor Trail. Tommy Hughes is down there on the sideline somewhere. He's not running, though. He makes people run. He doesn't run himself, is what he says. So got to thank Tommy for being a sponsor on our website. We want to thank Rob Oshinsky and Victory Fitness for being on our website. Here's the punt by the North, and am I wrong, or is that just the second punt of the game for the North?
I guess that means you were right.
And they get about we got the 2 signed from Ed Weaver at Circle W Sports. So we talked about you quite often during the halftime show, Ed. Justin Van Fleet.
Could have been worse. He could have told us we were number 1.
Yep, I'll take that off your bill, by the way. So I think we spent 9 minutes of advertising for you. So
He had a little stopwatch.
Yeah. Again, Ed from Circle W Sports on the stats today on the stat page. Got to thank Three Rivers Broadcasting for being a sponsor on our website, and Alex out there. He also does my sales for sponsors on our website. Circle W. All right.
We had questions in the first half whether or not it's a running clock. It's a running clock.
It is a running clock.
Yes.
So there's a pass and it's dropped. But that means the clock will keep running.
They used to be, as somebody that covered that 2019 Southern Columbia football team, that used to be my favorite thing in the world is when somebody threw a long pass in mercy rule, because everybody's got to walk back to the line of scrimmage. I think I went through a streak where I didn't see a game that didn't go mercy rule from week 7 of 2019 to the end of the year.
That's brutal.
That's a really good football team, though, too.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to see another one like that in my lifetime.
Some early nights, though.
That's true. That is true.
You get to beat those deadlines. We do a lot of work with interns, and I try to give them a deadline just to be real. And there's a pass to 4, and there's a long pass.
First down.
That's Nathan Almond from Selinsgrove. Speaking of Selinsgrove, Feliciano with the pass to Almond, their longest play of the game, by far.
And by far in their first down, first time they were across the 50-yard line.
First time they were across the 40, the 30, and the 20.
Yeah, probably.
Well, no, I think they got past the 20. But, yeah, incredible. You'd like to see him score. I mean, like, this is for pride now.
Yeah.
It's for pride. The 42-yard pass completion to Almond from Selinsgrove.
They have the big tight end from Shikellamy out by himself over here.
There's another pass to, it looked like Almond again.
No, Almond was the short guy.
Nope, 14. That's Parker Jones from Bloomsburg. The kicker.
Oh, it's first time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah. Well, he's a kicker, not a punter. That's why.
Well, this is true.
So 2nd and 4 for the South. They're on the 40-yard line.
We ran a lot of hook and lateral plays during practice. I wonder if they'll, as we get closer to the end of the game and they need to score, if we'll see one of those.
Little high on that one. And by a little high, I mean like he needed a ladder.
That's one of those deals where I'm not sure if 2 was the intended receiver or 81 was a little bit further down in that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right, so we got 3 in the backfield right now. Then Almond steps out and goes to the right. Lines up in a slot position. Feliciano back to pass, and he's under all kind of pressure. He's got room. He could have ran, and he's just finally crushed, and that's Sotolano again. He's had a heck of a game.
Yes, he has. And it kind of looked like Pedro was trying to look to pitch it to somebody, and now somebody from the South looks like he's down on the field. Hopefully it's not super serious.
Is that Sips on the field? Or no, no, that's Bose. So with this injury timeout, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back after these words from our sponsors.
When you step out on that field, everyone is equal. Talent, it means nothing. They may be more talented than you, but if you show more heart, if you show more focus, if you just decide this day that you will never accept second place to anyone, if you do that, if you all do that, there's no one we cannot defeat, and there's no one that will want to challenge us ever again. So do you want to go out there like every other player, like every other team, or do you want to stand up this day to make this day count? Make it count.
Watch the 2022 St. Luke's All-Star Awards, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. Join St. Luke's University Health Network in celebrating the region's best plays of the year, winningest teams, and most extraordinary high school and club sport athletes. For more information, visit sluhm.org/allstars and tune in June 9th at 6:30 p.m. on 69 WFMZ TV and streaming live on WFMZ.com and the WFMZ Plus app.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
Okay, we're back at Ironman Stadium, and Luke Bose from Bloomsburg kind of limping off the field, but I'm glad he's walking off the field on his own. They took a while to look at him and make sure he was okay, though.
Yeah, he was caught up on the play to the right side there when they were trying to run scramble. Feliciano was trying to scramble to the right side there. Going to bring up another fourth down. It's 36-0 in the Mercy Rule. I don't think you have much choice other than to go for it right here if you're the South team, if you're trying to get a score. Maybe Stellar and Feliciano in the backfield together.
Big pass to 81.
Big pass down the field to Caden Hoffman, 6'2" tight end from Shikellamy, who pretty good basketball player too, headed to Kings to play football. I think I mentioned that earlier. That's one of the plays they worked really hard on during practice when I was there on Thursday, was trying to isolate him in one-on-one coverage. He's one of those kids that was kind of had some problems with injuries in his senior year, but did have almost 200 yards up at Jersey Shore during the Jersey Shore game for the Braves this season. Feliciano's going to drop back. And
he dropped the ball. The ball was knocked out of his hands, actually.
15, Avery Campbell from Williamsport was unblocked on that play. One of the South offensive linemen raising their hands like, my bad.
I'm going to call his name. Dade Splane was in on that play.
All right, you do it.
Dade Splane. He got in there and knocked the ball loose.
I'm a little dense. Do you know it took me, like you saying that like 3 times to realize it was the same last name?
That's right.
They don't pay me to think sometimes.
That's all right. We know none of us get paid to think. We just go out and do.
They'll bring up another 2nd and long for the South offense.
He's right in his hands, and that's a pass you can't drop if you want to score. Parker Jones out of Bloomsburg. He had him there.
Going to be a 3rd and 15 now for this offense on the North 23. It looks like.
So we're crawling under 6 minutes here, and to go in the game. Beautiful night here.
Hey, we should have started this one about 8:30. Well, not for my deadline, but
Yeah, your deadline would have never made it.
But it is a beautiful night right now.
If it's any solace to you, I'm going to go, as soon as I get home, I'm going to rate this game up and get it up hopefully before 11 o'clock myself.
Well,
I doubt it.
I think that depends on the stat and the play-by-play man down here, doesn't it? Feliciano scrambles and gets back to the line.
Just nothing, nowhere to go.
Carter Peacock in on that tackle for the South. We'll see if
Brother Cooper ought to be a star this year for Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that's we've talked a couple times about them, and that is going to be another. Caden Hess is going to be tough for them to replace, but Brady Jordan is a heck of an athlete and quarterback. His brother Elijah is going to be, as the primary as a primary ball carrier this year. I don't know why the fullback linebacker that's a great wrestler's name isn't popping into my head, but he's one of the hardest hitting linebackers in District 4. I don't think anybody's going to be crying for Mr. Gravish this season that they're going to be struggling.
Timeout for the North, and we'll take a timeout. 4:47 left in the game, 36-0 North. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
There are two things in life that you can't outrun: taxes and death. Everything else you can outrun if you're fast enough. You can teach speed.
All right, we're back live. 4th and 19 for the South. This is their best chance to score. And let's see if they can at least muster up a first down. We've got 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Back to throw, and just all kind of pressure on him right away. He's throwing it into the end zone and couldn't quite make the connection there. And the North will take over with 4:40 left to play in this game. UPMC, Geisinger, we'll give them a shout out. UPMC and Geisinger, they came up big time and saved the game. Sponsoring each team, it's a unique situation. I know, like we cover different all-star games. We have the Lesser Lumber game, we have the McDonald's Lehigh Valley game, and we have the UPMC Geisinger All-Star game.
What was the one last week that had all those people out in the western end? The Lancey game?
Yeah, Ken Lancey game. Yeah, that's named after a gentleman who was a long time ago. He was injured. He was a big time player in that area out in Johnstown, and they had nearly 10,000 people at that game. That's a huge football area. Just enormous. And the thing is, it was at Wimber Stadium. Usually it's at Johnstown, but last minute they had to move it. I don't know why. I didn't get the specifics, but Wimber, Johnstown, Portage, Forest Hills, the Cambrias, they're all right there on top of each other.
Yeah.
So it's easy to draw a big crowd, but they do a really good job of promoting their game. They've got their website, which it's not a beautiful website, but they keep it updated. They have a Twitter account for it. They have a Facebook page for it, and they really hammer the daylights out of it. They do. It's like a week-long thing. It's almost kind of like the Big 33, where the players practice all week long, and they can do that because they all live right there.
Yeah, that sounds like. I just saw on Twitter. I just saw the picture of the crowd, and I couldn't believe they had that many people for an All-Star game.
It was Wimber holds nearly 10,000, and it was almost full.
I was doing some research. I'm not sure I realized that Windber was such a football power for many
years.
many
I
years.
actually have a book about Windber.
Yeah.
One of the guys wrote a book about Windber, and so I read that. I like reading stuff like that about teams and things like that. When people, Penn Trafford just had a guy write a book about Penn Trafford. They don't have a huge history, a long history, but I enjoy reading stuff like that.
There's a Mount Carmel book to be written by somebody.
I was just gonna say, I don't think anybody's written about Mount Carmel. It's overdue. They've got a nice stat guy that can probably do it.
Yeah, well, Jose Gonzalo's been their stat guy forever, and the late Phil Gergen was. Mount Carmel is the only one that you could probably say that has almost a sports information director for football for right there. If you need anything you need to know about Mount Carmel football, those people know.
They certainly do.
Down to how many exact wins, and that's a. They were telling me Selinsgrove has a milestone this year when they play Central Mountain. It's like the 700th game or 1,000th game in school history or something like that. They were getting excited about that during the summertime. They're trying to set some things up for that. I think that game's in October. I think it's homecoming too.
Yeah, we track all that stuff on our website. We have all the teams and how many games and how many wins and losses, and that's on our radar. We'll definitely have that one covered out at Central Mountain. The Wildcats did a nice job the last couple of years. I
really think
a little roll out to the left, and he's got lots of running room and blocking in front of him.
Is that Almedia? It is Almedia.
That's Almedia. Central Mountain is the first team I've ever seen, and I've covered a lot of football, but last year they were poised to beat Williamsport for the first time in school history. They were inside the 20-yard line. Their kicker, who was injured the week before, and they didn't even think he was going to be able to play. He's actually a linebacker. Tyler Weaver. They let him line up. They let him suit up just to kick the ball that day. So he's dressed up, ready to kick the ball. We take a knee with 53 seconds left, and he goes out. They snap the ball, and just as the ball snapped, Williamsport goes offsides, dead play. The ball goes right through the upside, but it didn't count. On the next play, the ball goes over the kicker's head, and they lose in overtime.
Of course they do.
So the clock is winding down. I would like to thank Todd Hummel for being here and doing the game. I know, Todd, you got to go down and do some interviews, so thanks for being here, Todd. And I enjoyed your companionship. I will always give you shouts out on Twitter, at Hummel Todd. And just enjoyed it. What a game. The North wins 36-0 in the District 4 Coaches Association All-Star Game. We're going to take a few minutes here, and we'll come back for some trophy presentations. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsor.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Todd.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
built by the Landtech Group, LLC. What a great stadium. What a wonderful night it turned into. It started out hot, but a great night for the North and in a 36-0 rout. Want to thank Todd Hummel for being here. Todd was here for the entire game with us. I want to thank Chris Massey for the pregame report he provided. Thank Justin. I want to thank the District 4 Coaches Association. Got to thank Dan the Man Reed. Follow him on Twitter at PFN Dan. I don't know the rest of it. You just look up PFN Dan, you'll find him there. Dan Reed does a great job. And that microphone is very loud. So we got trophy presentations, most valuable players. I think the most valuable player of the game was already decided. And I can let that out of the bag right now. And that's going to be Naz Smith from Loyal Sock with the player of the game. And for defense for this North, I think we went with Bailey Hasnikoloff. I'm going to say it. Hasnikoloff, the linebacker from Muncie. So as they get ready to do the trophy presentations, we're going to wrap things up here on PA Football News. PFN Presents. This is our last broadcast of the summer. We're going to take a few weeks, get ready. We're going to come back in August, the Sunday after heat acclimation with the 2022 season rollout coaches cookout. Live from Mr. G's in Harrisburg, PA with Joe Gilloway from Elpian Sports. It's going to be a fun day. We're going to have all kind of coaches from all over the state. We'll have a good time. And then join us every week on Tuesday nights as we give you the State of PA Football Presents live from a different location every single week during the season. 16 locations. We're excited about that. We're going to have different hosts at every game, at every show. Dan the Man's going to run it from his house when he has to, and he'll come out when I'm local. But for Todd Hummel, for Circle W Sports, for Jimmy Doyle, just for being here, and for the rest of us here at PA Football News, enjoy the rest of your summer. We'll be back in August. Thanks for joining us for the broadcast, gang.